Okay, guys, so tonight we are going to be chatting about the topic, Are you open for business? If you do not know who I am Beth Lucas. I am the director of Team Ascending Sense. So this is our team call for May of 2024. And tonight we're going to be talking about a bunch of different things. We're going to be heavily focused on the three legs of success. If you don't know what that is, don't worry. I'm going to go over that. But in regards to three legs of success, we're going to be talking about the main key components of what you need to run a successful business. And we're going to talk about different things that each of us do in our business to run those legs. What we're also going to discuss is a little bit of self-care as well. And then at the end, I'm going to do something super fun just to thank you guys all for being on tonight. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to try to be super mindful of your time. I've put time limits on each topic that I'm going to discuss tonight, so I'm going to try to stick to that. But I'm so excited to be talking about this. So before we get started, I wanted to do a quick little self-assessment. I did this today and it really helped me prepare for tonight's call, and this is going to help you prepare for tonight's call as well. So if you have a pen, a piece of paper, if you want to get your phone out, whatever you have, your notes tab, just something where you're able to make some notes really quick. What I want you to do, we're going to do a quick self-assessment. This is not going to take long at all. And like I said, Madison, if you're new, that's totally fine. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just follow along. It can be confusing if you're brand new, but we'll get the gist by the end. So, self-assessment. Number one, I want you guys to write down three ways that you currently prioritize self-care. Okay. Three ways. It could be anything, but I want you to focus heavily. I used to think self-care was just like, oh, going and get my nails done, oh, going and get massage. I want you to really dig deep in how you like take care of you mentally, how if it's journaling, if it is just having some me time, if it's taking, a 30-minute shower every night, whatever it is that just makes you decompress, de-stress, self-love. I want you to write down three ways that you prioritize self-care really quick. I'll give you just a few seconds to do that. I promise there's a reason I'm making you guys do this. Alrighty. And I'm gonna go ahead and move on. But if I'm going too fast, please feel free to unmute yourself. I can't see the chat box currently, but feel free to unmute yourself and tell me to slow down. Next, I want you to write down three ways that you work to find new customers in your business. And if you're new in Scentsy, you can guess on this. You can say, this is what I plan to do to find new customers in my business. So three ways that you work to find new customers. Lucy, my dog looks like she's about to go barking like crazy because she heard something outside. So if that happens, I'm sorry. Okay, and now I want you guys to write down three ways that you grow your PRV. So three ways that you actually get sales. How do you get your PRV every single month? When you sit down, what do you make a plan to do to make sure that you hit your 500, that you get active, that you get your 2000, whatever goal you have for PRV a month, write down three ways that you grow that. Okay, and now I want you, am I going too fast for anybody? Okay. Now I want you to write down three ways that you recruit new team members. Hey, Amanda, no worries that you're just popping on. We're just doing a quick self-assessment. So if you can hear me, just get out a piece of paper, a notepad. your phone, whatever you can to make notes. We're just doing a quick self-assessment. So I'm having you write down some different prompts. So the first prompt was 3 ways that you prioritize self-care. So you would just write this down, 3 ways that you prioritize self-care. The next one is 3 ways to work to find new customers, just finding them, not selling to them, not anything, just finding new customers, new supporters of your business. The third way was 3 ways to grow your PRV. And now we're on 3 ways that you recruit team members. And we've only got one more, you guys. So it's 3 ways that you recruit new team members. Okay. And then 3 ways that you help set your team up for success. And if you do not have someone on your team yet, that is totally fine. You can put how you plan to set them up for success. It is totally fine to start planning these things out in your business before you have a team established, because that way, when you do start recruiting, you're one step ahead of the game. And when you're done, if you guys would just send in the group chat that you are done and you have written down all of the prompts. And if you have a question, if you missed a prompt, then just put that in the group chat too, and I'll keep an eye on it. Awesome, Caitlin. Thank you. Awesome, Blair. So it was self-care, finding new customers, PRV, recruiting, and setting your team up for success. Awesome, Madison. Awesome, Heather. Okay. So if you're just finishing up, that's no problem at all. I'm going to go ahead and move along. So if you struggled at all finding 3 things to write down for any of these prompts, do not worry, because that is what tonight's topic is about. We're going to discuss each of these prompts. We're going to discuss each of these legs, or parts of the legs, if you will, and we're going to talk about ways that you can do all of the above that I just stated. I'm going to share with you guys what I do. I'm going to share with you guys things I've seen other consultants do. And then I want you guys to also share what you do as well. So that's what tonight's training is all about. So tonight I want you to focus heavily on those. So when I say 3 legs, the 3 legs of success was created by our SSDs, Chloe and Justin Cox, long time ago. And it is honestly probably the best system that's ever been created in Cincy, in my opinion. And that is because it's just so simple and it's so thought out. The 3 legs of success simply means you've got a stool, okay? And on that stool has 3 legs. One leg is PRV, that's your sales, okay? You always have to have sales, and you always want to make sure that that is the leg that you're focusing on at the forefront of your business, because without sales, you literally do not have a business. The next thing is recruiting, okay? To build a big business within Cincy, if you are actually wanting this to be a full-time income, or, potentially change your life, you have to recruit. That's how it works. And so that is another important leg of the stool. It's another important leg of success. And then the third leg is, when you have that team, how are you coaching them? So that third leg is coaching. How are you leading the way? How are you showing the way? How are you being a support system for your team? And then the seat of the stool is probably the most important part, right? Because, okay, you can have legs all day long, but if you don't have a seat, then you're literally you're not going to be able to sit down. And the seat is self-care. So that is how you're taking care of yourself, because we all know that you can have an amazing, rock solid business, but if you are not sustaining your mental health, if you are not okay yourself, then it is going to burn you out and the business is soon going to fall. It might sustain, it might run a little bit, but it is eventually going to crash and burn. So, you know, you may have a website that you pay for monthly. You may have customers who order from you here and there. You may have, one consultant on your team, but are you truly open for business? That's what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about, are you doing the necessary actions that it takes to grow your Scentsy business? And we can say all day long, I hear it all the time, especially right now. Everybody's saying that we're in like a dip. I don't think we are. I personally don't feel like I am. But I hear that and I keep hearing that. And I hear all these people say, I can't find anybody to join my team. I can't do this. I can't do that. And it's false. Madison literally just signed up today. And so we have to get away from this headspace of, I can't do this. Nobody wants to do this. And we have to get into the headspace of, I'm going to make a way. I'm going to do the actions. I'm going to do the things that I need to do. And so the self-assessment that we just completed, it'll help you answer if you're open for business, because it's a reflection of how you're working. So if you're struggling to write things down of how you're working to get those certain legs filled and completed, then maybe tonight you can get a little bit more insight on things that you might want to try or new practices that you want to pick up in your business. So we're going to go ahead and break it down. We're going to start with self-care, because in my opinion, it is the most important thing that you can possibly take care of in your business. And that is you. So in the chat, if you guys will, put a couple of things that you wrote down for self-care. How do you take care of yourself? What is something that you do to sustain that in your business and in your life in general? Like, we can take a second from all Scentsy talk real quick, and we can just literally talk about taking care of ourselves and loving ourselves. How do you do that? And while y'all are putting that in the chat, I'm going to tell you what I did when I did the self-reflection today. So personally, something that really, really helps me take care of myself is me time for me in the morning. Okay. So I love to start my day off with like relaxation. So I literally wake up, my husband goes to work, I make him coffee, I make myself coffee or a smoothie or whatever. And I literally sit down, I turn on like spa like music, or I turn on worship music, and I just sit there and I kind of just relax. I drink my coffee, I drink my smoothie, and I have 3 books that I have been heavily working in. So the first one is this morning gratitude book. I sit down, this is like me spending my time with Jesus. I'm a Christian, so I get in this book every single day and I do some gratitude. I pray over my day. Then I like to journal. Journaling helps me so much. It helps me get all my thoughts out onto paper. It helps me plan out my day. And sometimes journaling looks different for me. Sometimes journaling is me like literally writing out all my emotions. Sometimes it's literally me making a to-do list of what I need to do. It's just whatever I have in my brain that needs to get out, and it helps me tremendously. And then the third book is this self-love workbook for women. We got this on our leadership retreat that we did at the beginning of April with our SSD, Chloe Cox. Some of us went, and she actually gifted us this workbook, and I have been working in it over the last couple of weeks, and I absolutely love this book so much. I don't know what I'm going to do whenever I finish it, because it is a great start to my day, and it is a great start to like really realizing, struggles that I have with self-love or with self-care, and kind of getting myself out of that. So I recommend all 3 of these tools if you want to use them in your business. I'm actually going to share the link for the morning gratitude as well as the self-love workbook for women in case you guys are interested. I don't make a penny off of the link. I'm just sharing because it's something that really helps me with self-care. So let me see what some of you guys do. So no work during family time. I love that. Family time is so important. And start your day with gardening. So gardening is something you love. And if you guys don't know how to like really dive into self-care, I want you to focus heavily on things that you love, hobbies that you love. Like Amanda, gardening is something that she loves to do. And so spending time doing something that you love or starting your day with that can really kind of like set the tone for your whole day. Reading, listening to music, going for a walk. I love reading too. That's amazing. Going on long runs, love that. Having coffee breaks, taking hot showers, yes. Um, cleaning your house. Same girl, same. I literally today I was like so scatterbrained and I was like, I have got to fold this laundry that's been staring at me. So I feel that taking time to relax with coffee. Oh,
I meant to put husband there,
gotcha,
and
gotcha. I was like, wait,
I
what?
corrected myself.
Awesome. So taking time to relax with your husband. Yes, you don't get much time together. That's amazing. And going to the coffee shop. And then Heather says Sundays for me and family only. That I love that. Love, love, love that. Morning journaling, yes. Maintaining boundaries and saying no more. That is a good one. The work, yes, this workbook is absolutely amazing. And then Nikki says she does bowling and diamond painting. That's awesome. So more hobbies added to the pot. So I love hearing that you guys are doing things to practice self-care. And I want you to know that if it has not happened yet in your business, there will come a point in time where you feel like you're putting yourself on the back burner and you want to stay away from that as much as possible. So always make time for self-care, even if it's 15 minutes a day. Okay. I just wanted to put that out there because, like I said, to me, most important leg of the entire stool. So now that we chatted about self-care and there's like I said there's going to be a little fun thing at the end, so make sure to stay because we're going to be doing something in regards to self-care. Next is finding new customers. So really quickly add to the chat, what do you guys do to find new customers? Okay, what do you do, what do you do? And I'm going to get through this quickly. I personally, so I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to focus mainly tonight on finding new customers and PRV. This isn't a leadership training. This is just a team training. So we're gonna chat about the recruiting members and we're gonna chat about setting your team up for success. But we're gonna spend the bulk of our time tonight on the finding new customers and the PRV. And then if anybody on this call or anybody watching the recording that's on our team, if you want to dive deeper into the recruiting and into the leadership and into the coaching, then we can chat one-on-one. Okay. Because sometimes people watch these calls and they're not interested in growing a team. So I just wanted to put that out there. So what I do to find new customers heavily, now I do other things, but the main three things that first came to my mind when doing the self-assessment is social media. I use stories very, very heavily, but I want to get better at like reels and things like that. I know how to make reels, but I don't take the initiative to do it. Perfectionism always gets in my way, feeling like it has to be perfect, feeling like it has to be all pretty and set up and filtered and just everything. And I'm trying to get out of that. So I use social media a lot. Facebook, I use it very prominently. I've got my VIP group. I've got, I just do my regular posts. I go live quite often. I go in my stories. I use Instagram. I've dabbled in TikTok, but there's some trolls on TikTok, y'all. I don't know. But, and then I do referrals. So I try heavily to, have a referral system with my customers. My customers know that if they get somebody sent my way, that they're going to be getting hooked up with all the Happy Mail. They're going to get the free wax bars. They're going to get the whatevers. So I really try to focus on referrals, and word of mouth is tremendous in this business. Word of mouth is great. So I love finding new customers that way. But my best way at finding new customers is parties, 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 parties. You'll hear it time and time again. You have one host that hosts a party with you, and she literally basically refers you out to all of her friends and family and guests. And you have 8 hosts a month, and 8, hosts are helping you meet 10 people each. There's 80 new customers right there. There's 80 new people that see that you sell Scentsy. You can add them to your VIP group. You can spoil them. You can take care of them. That is why I love parties, because it is a surefire way to make sure that you constantly are refilling that customer pot. So let's see what you guys do. Amanda, right off the jump, said parties. Parties are the best way. Telling random people I come across at work or through the day about Scentsy. That's amazing. Being so open and comfortable with sharing about Scentsy will change so much in your business. And this is something that I personally struggle with. Sometimes I struggle with, the stigma that is around direct sales. And I don't know why. It's something that I literally just started struggling with like a year or two ago. I used to not care at all. But I'll say that it's something that I'm working on getting out of. I'm working on getting more comfortable with talking about my business. And so, that's amazing that you're just like, I'm just going to tell people that I sell Scentsy. Facebook groups, referrals, talking to acquaintances. Yes. Always talk about it. Always talk about it. Branding yourself. That's amazing, Caitlin, that you said that. That was on my list of things to share. Social media, vendor events, parties, advertising on personal Facebook, not only Scentsy Facebook, and grow through customers that you already have. Exactly, exactly, exactly. So, we're gonna chat a couple of ways. These are just things that I chatted down. But like I said, if you guys have like anything that you want to add, if I say something and it sparks, an idea in your mind, feel free to add it to the chat. Tonight, this is kind of like a working Zoom, like we're working together. Uh, my dog just literally okay. She is crazy sometimes. Sorry. Okay, so let's talk about finding new customers. So, social media, like I said, if you guys aren't using social media in your business, I feel like everybody probably for the most part is. I feel like everybody here is pretty active on Facebook. Um, I saw so much with this last flash sale that we just had, which, by the way, you all crushed it. Congrats on an amazing sale. I saw so many people this flash sale, so many Scentsy consultants, like not just from our team, but just throughout. They were posting and they were like, "Do I have any friends that will let me share on their page about this sale?" And it's not really something that I have seen a lot in the past, but it's something that I thought was such a good idea because I don't know if you guys know this, but you can actually go to somebody's Facebook wall and post something. And when you do that, it lets all of their Facebook friends see. You can like tag them and it'll show up on their wall. And so that's essentially what these consultants were asking these people to do. And so many people were commenting and they're like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's awesome because you never know who that's going to reach. I mean, if you have 10 of your people, letting you, post to their page and they have, 100 plus friends on their page, think about how many people that you're reaching, in that short amount of time. And yeah, you might only get one, two, maybe three orders, but that's three customers that you might not have had. But think about the amount of people that are at least seeing, hey, that's a Scentsy girl. You never know when somebody's looking for a consultant. So I thought that was really cool. That's a really good idea. If we're having a sale or if we're having a launch, you guys know we're Scentsy. We do limited time offers all the time. We always have something new launching. So, you could always do that. You could always share that on somebody's page. Of course, ask for their permission, but I thought that was really cool. Using hashtags on social media. I don't know how well this works for Facebook, but I've seen it work very well on Instagram. People can follow a hashtag. So you could literally go follow Scentsy right now. And every single time somebody puts hashtag Scentsy on Instagram, you can see every post that pops up. So, using hashtag reels will help you so much with a tremendous amount of reach towards, the Instagram community, even the Facebook community, I think are pretty popular. Reels is kind of like TikTok, but for like Instagram. And then obviously when it comes to social media, the big part is consistency, being consistent with that. And a VIP group. So like I said, I have a VIP group and I share, basically anything that's coming to Scentsy, those people will hear it first. Business cards, okay? You can put business cards in small businesses. So if you have a free Saturday afternoon or you get off work early or something like that, you can walk around to small businesses with your business card and be like, hey, do you have a section for people to put their business cards? And you can slip them in there. You never know who's going to walk by that and want to buy some Scentsy or join your team. Another thing that I've seen consultants do is they have literally put like a fragrance flower and business cards at a doctor's office or a dental office or a coffee shop or, at wherever kind of small business you support. You can say, hey, do you care if I put this product here. It's going to make the place smell good. And I'm also going to leave some business cards in case anybody's interested. The worst that they can do is say no. And this is something that I'm going to like personally try to start doing more of. And that's what I want you guys to think about tonight as we're going over these things. If you hear something and you're like, I want to try that, I want you to write it down, okay? Because the whole point of the self-assessment was for you to kind of see where you're at in your business right now. But what I want you to do after this call is I want you to implement at least one, just one new idea for each section, each prompt that we're talking about. I want you to let me know what you decide to do at the end of the call. And then I want to hear, in 60, 90 days, how that went, how that worked for you. Fundraising is something that a lot of people don't realize that we can do with Scentsy. And to be honest with you, I'm not super knowledgeable in it because I don't do a lot of fundraisers, but that is something else that I want to dive into. You can literally raise money for organizations that you love. You can go on your Facebook page right now and say, hey, if you could give $200 to an organization you love, who would you give it to? And when they comment, you can reach out to them and say, hey, do you want to do a Scentsy fundraiser with me? It's that simple. Obviously, you have to, look into fundraisers and how they work. There's a bunch of training information on the workstation about that. And maybe down the line, if I start to pick that up more, if I find some people that want to do fundraisers, I can do more trainings on that. I know we've got some people in here that do fundraisers. And then if you look up Wendy Heath Newgas on YouTube, she does a ton of them and she has great trainings as well. So vendor events, I think it was Nikki that recommended vendor events. Y'all, vendor events are where it's at. I was literally talking to Amanda earlier and I was like, we need to book some vendor events to meet new people. Vendor events are great because, yeah, sometimes people think, oh, you just go and you show up and you have all this stock. You don't have to show up with anything. You don't have to have any stock. You can go, you can set up, you can have a couple wax bars, some cash and carry items, things like that. But the whole point of a vendor event, in my opinion, is to get a person's information. You always want to have a little tab that they can fill out with their name, their phone number, their email, so that you can turn around and follow back up with them. And you can leave one vendor event with a stack of information, of people's information, of contacts that you can then reach out to and say, hey, do you want to book a party? Hey, what did you think of that? Blah, blah, blah that you bought. Yada, yada, yada. Yes, Amanda, let's do it, girl. Caitlin says, yes, she puts business cards everywhere, accidentally drops them off in the parking lot. Yeah, I used to literally like stick them on the gas pump at the gas station and be like, who wants some smell goods? Like, put them anywhere that you can. Business cards are awesome, top tier. Referral program. You can have a referral program in your business. And if you are wanting to kind of like brand yourself a little bit within the Scentsy world, we're all consultants. We all have to find a way to stand out somehow. Then I highly recommend putting a referral program in place. It's something that can help you stand out within, the Scentsy community. And it doesn't have to be anything crazy. It can be refer somebody to host a party with me, get a free wax bar. Refer somebody to join my team, get a free mini warmer. Refer somebody to place an order, get a free scent circle. Keep in mind that that's a personal special, so you have to tell them that one-on-one. You can't post that on Facebook, but it's out of compliance. That's why. But something that I love to do is I like to make a cute little flyer, print those flyers off with my referral information and stick those into my customer orders. So when I give them their order, it'll say, hey, here's the referral program. It just keeps in their mind, hey, if I ever see that, somebody wants a Scentsy gal, I can send them to Beth and I'll get free stuff. Car decals, putting on your car, Scentsy consultant, Beth Lucas, with your phone number, your email, a QR code to your website. You have no idea. My mom used to be a consultant for another company and she still has the logo on her car and people call her all the time and she's like, I do not sell this anymore. And they're like, or she's like, I really need to take this off my car because she'll say that she's like in the McDonald's drive-thru or she's picking up food somewhere and she's just getting calls from people wanting her product. Yes, I can share the referral flyer, of course. I'll do that. I'll do that tonight. Can you send me a text after this call and remind me because I don't want to forget? Wearing Scentsy branded gear. Okay, so I think it was Caitlin that said that. Wear Scentsy. I don't have any Scentsy on right now, but I have tons of Scentsy shirts. even like little things like koozies that say Wax Boss. Every time we go to a Scentsy event, I wear my Scentsy shoes that I earned with an incentive that we had. Right now, you can literally earn Scentsy gear with our new incentive that we've got going on. So there's like a North Face beanie that says Scentsy. There's an Arctic cooler that says Scentsy. Last spring and summer, I earned 2 pair of camping chairs that have like Scentsy all over it. And we went to the river for my dad's birthday back in March, and I had them out, and it literally started conversations. People were like, where did these cute chairs come from? I'm like, I earned them with my company. And how amazing that you can say, like, I earned them for free with by being a Scentsy consultant. So things like that start conversations. Okay. People might be like, what's Scentsy? You can literally wear a shirt that says ask me for a free sample. Like things like that will get the word out, especially like if you're a mom, if you're at the ball field, if you're somewhere where everybody's just kind of sitting around chilling talking, wear Scentsy branded gear. And always have like a mobile office or something on you. That's going to be a training Tuesday coming up, is how I like what's in my mobile office. A mobile office is basically just like this little bag that you keep with you on the go that has business cards, catalogs, samples, like your information and things that you can easily pass out to people when you're on the go. Passing out samples. There's another one. Collecting their information when you hand them a sample. If the conversation gets brought up, you can say, here, I actually have a sample on me. Try it out. Can I have your number so I can follow up and see what you think about it? It's obviously something you have to work on if it's not in your comfort zone, but we don't grow from comfort zones. So, like I said, just figure out what works for you and what you're willing to try and write it down, give it a try. And then once again, being vulnerable and sharing yourself to where others may relate to you. You have no idea when I get people like conversing back and forth with me on social media who I've never met. Most of the time, it's not even because I'm selling Scentsy. Most of the time, it's because I'm posting on my story that I'm spending time with Jesus every day. And someone who also either has strong faith or they're trying to build their faith reaches out to me and says, can you tell me more about that devotional? And then we get in the conversation. It might be because I share a song I'm loving and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm loving that song too. I literally last week I had like a whole long conversation with a girl because I shared the new Summer Skies Starbucks drink. Okay. Like we got into a whole conversation because of one post on my story. So just keep that in mind. You don't have to share Scentsy 24/7. You are not Scentsy. Scentsy is something that you do. Scentsy is not you. You are not Scentsy. You don't want to just be Scentsy 24/7. But when people look at you, they want to know that you're a Scentsy girl. Or guy, you want them to know that, it's something that you do and they can always hit you up if they want smell goods. But you also want them to know that you're a human being and you're a dog mom, or you love plants, or you are a human mom. Or you're in school, you're a college student, whatever else you do for work, keep that in mind. Okay, next up, we're moving away from finding new customers. I hope something in there resonated with you. I hope you wrote down something that you want to try. Let's move on to PRV. So in the chat, seeing if y'all are still awake, put what you guys do to grow your PRV. And I know I said I'm going to try to keep it to 45 minutes. I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying. We might be hitting the 50 mark. We'll see. Let me tell you what I do. So, once again, parties, obviously, like parties are, everybody has a Scentsy problem and parties are the solution. Like, I'm just going to put that out there. I will die on that hill. Sometimes people are like, I don't even do parties for my business. That's totally fine. And that proves that you don't have to have parties to run a successful business. But for me personally, it's just what grows my business the most. It helps me find new people. It helps me get more sales, and it also helps me recruit. So I love parties. Social media, once again, I use social media heavily for my PRV. The sale that we had yesterday, I made some emails. I didn't get any responses to the emails. I don't know if anyone ordered because of the emails. But yesterday, the two things that I know helped my PRV when it came to the sale was social media, and my next one that I wrote down for PRV, and that is follow up. Follow up is essential for PRV and for customer retention, keeping customers coming back to you. Blair knows. Blair was my customer for a long time. My follow-up game is strong. I'm always reaching out. I'm always seeing if you want the latest thing. I'm always making sure you're loving what you got. I'm just always like touching base with you. And the thing that I'm trying to be better about is touching base with my customers on a more personal level, because at the end of the day, I don't look at my customers at a dollar sign, but sometimes I do feel that I get so caught up in the hustle and bustle and wanting to like, obviously have a thriving business that I forget to like check in with my customers on a personal level. So I'm trying to be better about that. But following up is going to be essential. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. And that's that. You cannot post and pray. You can't post something and think, hey, they're going to see that. They're going to let me know if they want it. They might not be on Facebook much. So they might need that text message for you to let them know that the Black Raspberry Vanilla Inspirations collection is coming out and do you want it? Like they might need that. So let's see what you guys do. Blair says parties. Amanda says follow up, emails, club. Club is a great one. Unboxing videos, love that. They love to see what you're getting. They love to see what you're loving. Emails, early access. Yes, Caitlin, early access is something that is a consultant perk. You can literally get the summer collection bars right now on early access and you get PRV for them. But what's great about that is you can sample them out and you can get those to your customers before the collection even launches. So you can have those pre-orders ready. Club, party, lives. Heather says one-on-one sessions. I love that, Heather. I'm assuming you're, and put in the chat if I'm wrong about this, but I'm assuming you're like talking about like you're reaching out, you're having a one-on-one session with your customer, be like, let me see how your nose is, let me see what you might like they're telling you what their favorite fragrance family is. Do they like bakery, fresh, citrus? And you're trying to like match them with the right products. If so, that's golden. Customer appreciation events. I do those once every catalog transition. It's just an online event where I get my customers together and I show them all the new goodies. And videos with your grandson. And Heather, that is what I was talking about, like being vulnerable and finding something that your customers relate to you with, what they want to see more of, what makes you look like a real human and not a Scentsy robot. So really quickly, parties, obviously, but different types of parties. So what kind of parties are you doing? Obviously, we get, hooked and latched onto the basic online party. It's quick, it's simple, it's easy. You don't have to leave your house. Your host doesn't have to clean their house. They don't have to invite anybody. But let's get more in detail of what kind of parties we're having. Let's try to go beyond the realm. Let's do some in home parties. Let's do some bag parties. The flower coloring parties that I was doing before everything went to shambles in April, the flower parties that I was doing, guys, were amazing. And that's just, we can talk about that more. I actually posted a training Tuesday about it. So you can look up flower parties in our team page and read more about it. But they were helping me bring on so many new customers and meet so many new people and get PRV. Lucy, sorry if y'all hear her barking. I don't know what she's barking at. I literally don't know. I think she's trying to get into the bedroom with my husband. Yes, I send samples ahead of time for one-on-one. Love that. My customer appreciation event is a quarterly bingo, and I don't talk about Scentsy unless they ask. That's awesome. Heather, that would be something really cool for you to talk about on our team page, because I love that. I've seen consultants do bingo before in Scentsy, and I'm really interested to see how that works. So if you get a chance, I know you're super busy, don't feel pressured, but that would be awesome. So obviously parties, like I said, I'll die on that hill. Following up, have a follow-up system. If you don't have a follow-up system, then I want you to write that down for this prompt. Having a follow-up system is key for your business, for customer retention, for PRV. A follow-up system is essentially just a way that you make sure that you can track that you're following up with your customers. So it could literally be a sheet of paper. Once again, you can search our team page and find a ton of follow-up systems. It could be a sheet of paper. It could be an Excel spreadsheet. It could literally be anything. I personally am right now doing a lot of like I'll print my order forms, not my order forms, but like my order history. I love to print my order history, and then I like to reach out to those people because it kind of shows me, you know, how much they spent. I can go into my order history and I can see what they made or what they bought, so I can see what type of stuff that they love. And I like to touch base with them 3 times. I like to touch base with them about at least right when they order or 24 hours after they order and say thank you. I just say thank you so much for your order. I saw it come through and I really appreciate it. That simple. They'll respond back. Maybe they won't respond back. I keep an eye on when their product gets to them. We get emails when the products ship, when the orders ship. So I'll reach out to them and I say, hey, I saw your order shipped. It looks like it'll be there by Saturday. When it comes in, I want you to let me know what you think. And then I'll give them, until after a few days after their order comes in, and I'll say, hey, what did you think? And I like to do that. Now, I'm not perfect at that follow-up system, but that's what I like to do and focus on. And then by that time, they either typically reorder or they want a party or they fall off the face of the planet and I never hear from them again. It happens. But having a follow-up system will keep you at the forefront of their mind. And something I really love to ask people, just straight up, so I don't waste my time and I don't waste theirs, especially if I meet them in a party, I say, hey, before I add you to my VIP group, do you already have a consultant? It is a way for me to be respectful of other consultants. And it is also a way for them to just go ahead and lay it on me. Yeah, I'm sorry. I have a consultant. I ordered from you because my friend was having a party and I wanted to be nice. It happens. It happens all the time, but it's okay because now you know that that is somebody that you touch base with and you can focus on the ones that want you to be their consultant. And you will be shocked. Like sometimes people, after you send them their happy meal and you spoil them and take care of them, they're like, okay, I want you to be my consultant now. So I'm just saying, like, just take care of your people, but also, find a way to figure out what kind of customer they're going to be for you. Sharing literally every single launch we have. This is so important. Sometimes I feel like, consultants, they'll see something that's coming out and they're like, I don't really like that. Like the Black Raspberry collection that just launched. You might be like, I hate that scent. It's terrible, even though it's absolutely delicious. But you might say that you hate it. And you might be like, nobody's going to want to buy that. So you don't post it. Post every single thing that we have. I struggle with this with the kid aspect because I don't have kids yet. So I struggle with the fact of like posting a Scentsy Buddy or stuff like that because I don't have children. So I feel like, oh, nobody's going to want that. But there are parents out there. There are children out there. There are adult kids out there. I have people all the time that buy buddies from me for themselves, not for their children. So share every little single launch that we have. Emailing your customers, this is something new I've started picking up on. So emailing them, social media, once again, going live, posting stories, reels, mystery bags. You can do mystery bags each month. Some consultants base their entire business off of scent crates or mystery bags. So they are consistent with making them, theming them. They add things, they could do a beach themed and they could do all products related to like the beach. And they get like anywhere from 500 to 2,000 PRV a month from mystery bags, y'all. So keep that in mind too, if that's something you want to try out. If you have questions about how it works, you can always reach out to me privately. And since we are getting a little closer to that 9 o'clock mark, feel free to reach out to me about anything that you hear me say and you're like, I want a little bit more insight on that and I can help you. And then intentional sampling, not just sampling something and passing it out and not collecting that person's information, or not just sampling something and passing it out and not following up with that person about how they liked it. Be intentional. If you're not intentional, then you're literally just you're wasting your time making samples. You can get these early access bundles all day long, but if you're not making the samples and getting them out there before it launches, before it sells out, you're doing yourself, your business a disservice. You're spending money for no reason. And that's not how a successful business sustains itself. So the last two, okay, recruiting and setting your team up for success. I want you guys to, in the chat box, I want you to share how you're doing both. How you're recruiting and how you're setting your team up for success. Like I said, if you don't have a team yet, you can chat ways on how you plan to do that in the future. Blair says, I did a bag party a while ago and made up a cute little basket for my aunt to take to her work and let her coworkers take a look. Got a few orders and new customers from that. Yes, bag parties are amazing. You can go on Facebook right now. Amanda did that. Amanda, it was you, right? Yeah. She did this at the beginning of this month. One day she was like struggling to book parties. She went on Facebook and she posted, who do I know that works in an office? And she had so many people commenting, and she booked 3 bag parties in like one day just by asking that question and then reaching out to that person and say, hey, can I give you a bag to share with your like office peeps? You'll get free Scentsy out of it. Like, that's how easy it is, guys. This business is not hard. You just got to think outside of the box of ways to get your business in front of other people's faces. So in the chat, share really quick. How are you recruiting? How are you setting your team up for success? And if you're not interested in either of those, you don't have to say anything. But I'll give you guys a few seconds and then I'll tell you how I am doing it. Okay. So recruiting for me, simply asking. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. If your mouth is closed, your business is always closed. Sharing my story. That is something that has helped me tremendously, is sharing my story and just sharing my journey and what I've been going through and how Scentsy has helped me and what it's done for my family and all that kind of stuff. Like, people resonate with your story, so share it. Even if you just join, share why you joined, share what you are hoping Scentsy brings to you. And join specials. Join specials is another way I recruit. I feel super comfortable sharing that we have, a join special this month or whatever. And then for setting my team up for success, coaching calls, team calls like this, having calls with you guys once a month, and talking about a topic, having a team page somewhere that you guys can go and ask questions if I'm unavailable, having a place where you can all work together, having a place where I can post, a launch that's coming or shouting you guys out or welcoming you to the team or whatever, just having a space where we're all together and I can post it and you guys can see it when you can see it. So Heather says she has an accountability chat with some of her frontline. That's amazing. Most of your recruits come to you. Awesome. Nikki says have a new teammate checklist and you post on social media. Mention a gift, a kit option if you have one. Yes. Blair says you help teamies meet their goals in their first 70 days, working together as a team, staying consistent, constant contact with teamies. Explain perks of joining Scentsy and flipping parties. Yes. And Amanda says sharing all the love this company gives, sharing constantly the deals, flipping parties. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So the Earn a Kit is a great way, obviously, to recruit. Somebody can like literally get a free Scentsy kit and sign up and have a whole business at the palm of their fingertips. It's amazing. And then also just sharing our specials that we have going on, our join specials, just the $99 kit in itself. Everything that they get in that kit is quite literally insane. I think I saw somebody post that the kit this month, the $99 kit is worth like over $400 or something like that. Like that's wild. So yes, having them come on and teaching them the ropes, teaching them the new consultant, the new consultant awards and showing them how to get there and honestly showing them how you got there, that's the secret sauce. So it's just some ideas for recruiting, always asking, sharing your story, sharing your journey. You guys can go back on my Facebook page I think it was last week, I shared a very, very, very long Scentsy update. It's worth the read, I promise. It just talked about like things that Scentsy has done for me and how it's honestly changed my life. And I have had So right now I'm in between jobs. I got laid off at the beginning of April of my on my full-time job. Um, it was actually okay that I got laid off. I was looking for a job anyways. I was not happy where I was. But it came at the worst time because we are moving back to our hometown. We're moving back to Clinton in July. And I currently live in Raleigh, which is about an hour and a half away. My husband is here and he has his job here. And I was stuck between like, okay, I need to get a job, but I don't want to get a job here when I have to literally pack up and leave in 2 months. I need to get a job there. And so I am literally back and forth right now between Raleigh and Clinton. And I am bartending right now on the weekends until I start my new job that I thankfully got at the end of May. And so where I was going with that is just that I shared my story on Facebook last week. And was it last week or the week before? I don't remember. But Friday night, I am sitting there bartending, and a girl comes up and sits down at the bar. And she, orders a drink and she orders some food, and I'm talking to her and everything, and we're good. And she walks outside and she comes back a few minutes later and she sits down in the bar and she goes, now, just a little bit of backstory, and then I promise I'm going to wrap things up. But I did another company before I did Cincy, and the company was amazing, but the team culture was not for me. It just wasn't. And so I left, and I had no intentions of getting back into direct sales, but by the grace of God, Cincy found me. And like I said, the rest is history. I mean, I joined almost 5 years ago, and like I will always do Cincy. I love this company. But this girl sits down and I'm thinking to myself, she looks familiar, but I can't put my finger on who she is. And she says to me, so I just wanted to say to you, I am so proud of what you have done with Cincy. And she says, but do you still do the other said company? And I said, how do you know me? I said, who are you? And she said, I don't know if you remember me or not, but I had a party for the last company that you did. Um, and like she didn't host the party, she was a guest at the party. This was literally, y'all, like years and years ago. And she had actually came and she was a guest at the party and she bought like one product from the party and everything. And I didn't even know, but she has been following me ever since. And she told me, she's like, I have been watching your life for years and years and years. And I'm literally so proud of you because when I met you, you were a teenager and now you are like, you've blossomed into this like woman, you're a wife, you have this amazing business. And she was like, and I'm just so proud of you. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I did not realize that this girl even was still friends with me on Facebook. Honestly, I've not talked to her in years. And she just walked up to me like out of nowhere and just like, I'm so proud of you. And it really helped resonate with me. I told you guys I'm trying to be more vulnerable about talking about my business and opening up with people and sharing like glimpses of my story and my life. And it really helped resonate with me that like you don't know who's watching. You really have no clue who is watching, who's listening to your story, who has been watching you for a long, long time. And here it is, somebody that, sometimes when I made that post, I was like, why did I do that? Sometimes I'm like, why did I even post that? Nobody cares. But somebody does care. Somebody does care about your life updates. Somebody does care about the success that are experiencing, and people care about your failures and your struggles too. So just being vulnerable, you literally never know what will spark someone's interest in joining you, in ordering from you, in being your friend, whatever. So I know that was kind of long, but I just had to share with you guys that that happened because it really shocked me and I wasn't expecting it. I didn't even know this. She did not even comment or like the post, y'all. Like she literally did not know that she saw that at all. And she was like, I just want you to know I'm really proud of you. It was awesome. So having your story and picture also posted on your website. So when you have a website, you can share your story, you can share your picture. People want a face. Dara on our team, she joined my business because of my story online. When I posted that story, y'all probably said the same thing. Why did I sit there and write that story? She literally went on Cincy.com and she read through people's stories and she looked through their profile pictures. She joined my team. And when I said to her, "How did you find me?" She said, I read your story on Cincy.com and I wanted to join you. Okay. Like people care and people look at that stuff. Educating people on the kits that we offer and the earning potential. Okay, letting people, like, showing people what Cincy can do for them, obviously. And then setting your team up for success really quick. Get on the phone with them, find out what their goals are, find out what they're struggling with, find out how you can help them. Sometimes it's like the one thing that they need to know that they didn't know. Caitlin last night or night before, we had a coaching call. She didn't know that reinstatements could come back for free. I shared that with her, and she was able to chat with 2 reinstatements that she's been wanting to have a conversation with, and they might join next month. It's little things like that that can like change like the whole course of somebody on your team's business is simply finding out what they need, what they don't know, and helping them get there. Um, Helping your team understand the compensation plan. If you don't understand the compensation plan, reach out to me so I can help you understand it. That is vital in helping them promote. Going to events and encouraging them to, going to things like SFR. SFR is amazing. It's vital. You can do the streaming only option. You can do it virtually if you can't go to Orlando, Florida and attend in person, and I highly recommend that you do so. Registration actually ends this month for that. Having a team page or a group chat somewhere that you can get the word out to your team quickly. Hosting your own events, setting goals with them, and crushing them together. Okay, really quick, in the chat, I want you guys to type out things that you are going to try and do in your business. Okay. Really, really quick. I just want you from tonight, things that you wrote down that you're like, okay, I love that. I'm going to try that. I'm going to do that. And while you guys are doing that, I'm going to be doing something else. But I'm going to come back to the chat in just a second. I just want you to write down 3 to 4 things tonight that you're like, I am going to do that. Okay, okay. Okay, let's see what we got. Amanda said fundraisers, vendor events, and drop your cards off with flowers at businesses and a referral program. Love that. Heather signed up for virtual SFR. That's amazing. Sharing your story everywhere. I love that. Anyone sign up for SFR can join my teams. Yes, Heather's going to be doing a virtual watch. More on that soon. Business cards and local businesses. I love that. Advertising more, not just on social media. Yes, referral program. Referral programs are amazing, guys. Mystery bags, crates. Yes, love that. Sharing your story, creating a follow-up system, and starting a referral system. It looks like you guys are all going to start referral systems and programs, and I love that. Staying consistent on social media, sharing your story on your page, and telling as many people you can about Cincy. Amazing. Mobile office and sharing story more. I love that. I love that so much, you guys. So before we end tonight, I'm going to share my screen really quick, and then I promise we're going to be done. At the beginning, I told you guys to stay until the end for a surprise. We're going to do a little giveaway as a thank you for all of y'all being on tonight. I am going to give one of you guys, I'm going to send this to your doorstep. This is the self-love workbook for women that I was telling you guys about earlier. This book is amazing, and I can't wait to see who gets it. It has, like I said, it's really helped me just take like 15 minutes a day and sit down and just work on myself. And so it's going to be our giveaway for tonight. So let's see who wins it. I know a couple of you in here already have it. So if it lands on you, we'll find you something else. Looks like it's going to be Nikki. Congratulations, Nikki. I'm so excited for you. So I will send that to you. Okay. Does anybody have any questions before we end tonight's call? Any questions or anything you want me to elaborate on or anything? Congrats, Nikki. You guys should definitely check it out though. Like it's on Amazon and I'll share the link. I love it. All right. I will let you guys go. I want to thank you guys so much for being on tonight and for just investing this time into your business. I tried to keep it at 45, guys. Sorry. But I will talk to you all later. And like once again, thanks so much for being on. Bye, guys.